All right, I'm the Sage Wanderer, and welcome to Civil War Day. We're talking about Civil War in America today. So in previous videos, I talked about how the Civil War might go down. In this video, I would like to talk about the results of Civil War on America as a nation. So as you all know, we have many enemies scattered around the world, from a lunatic in North Korea to jihadists in the Middle East to communist China and even Russia, who would love nothing more than to see this country fail. I think that if a civil war erupts in the United States, you will see foreign money and foreign entities begin to fund and or even actually pour in physical fighting troops to assist one side or the other. I think you are beginning to see this. At the very beginning of this is George Soros, who is purported to be behind paying some of these protesters and some of these combatants. So I think that our enemies are just waiting with bated breath for us to become weakened by this internal conflict. And I think that America's Achilles heel, America's number one weakness, is our reliance on electronics for communications and daily life. I mean, really, when was the last time you built a fire? In the rain. When was the last time that you worried about purifying or boiling water? I mean, do people even know that they need to dig a hole to put their own crap in? I mean, what would happen even if just the trash didn't get picked up? How long would it take for things to become health and life threatening? So with America at each other's throat and weakened already, our enemy would take that opportunity to employ an EMP, an electromagnetic pulse device. All of our enemies currently possess this kind of technology that they could utilize against the United States if they could catch us not looking. Those in the know say that we couldn't even defend against it right now if we knew it was coming. And if we were involved in a civil war, the timing would be perfect. An EMP would neutralize America's defenses for the most part. We wouldn't even see them coming. They could invade the United States. Listen to me. Foreign troops on the ground in your neighborhood. Think about that before you start stirring up a civil war. This won't be like the last Civil War. There won't be a happy ending. We won't get to all shake hands, kiss, and make up. A civil war means the end of America, because our enemies are poised to exploit our weakness. This is why Trump has to build the wall. For me, the wall isn't about illegal immigration. It's about securing our southern border against an invading army. It might not stop the North Koreans, but it would sure slow them down. And if I were a North Korean dictator, I wouldn't try to invade the United States coastline. I would secretly slip an army into Mexico, pay off local officials, and march right in across the southern border. So, a civil war is the end of America. That's why us sane people have to stand up and start talking about this. Hey, I understand people's frustration on every side. You know, everyone's got a point of view. But we have a constitution and a way of addressing grievances. We have an election process. This requires patience. This is why I will never vote for another Democrat for as long as I live, because when an opportunity to pass the torch to a new administration peacefully was offered you, you were the first generation in American history, well, since the Civil War, that didn't accept the results of the election. And you didn't clap your hands and go, okay, well, nice job, guys. You know, I guess the better man won. We'll get you next time. And that's what we've always done, and you didn't do it. Democrats, the press, anyone who encouraged people to hate on our president, I'll never support you. And I voted for Obama. I'm a Bernie Sanders guy, and I'll never vote for another Democrat. So an EMP is coming, one way or the other. An EMP could also come from our own United States government. We have advanced EMPs in our arsenal that are capable of knocking out electronics without killing anyone or leaving any fallout. So what if Portland were to fall into some sort of civil war and no-go zones erupted around Portland where not even the police could go, and Antifa and other aligned leftists were able to control whole sections of Portland, or maybe the entire city? Would the United States government sit by and watch Oregon implode? Would they send in the National Guard and fight them on the streets? There would be a lot of life lost on both sides. Or maybe they'll just employ a small EMP device over the state of Oregon and knock out all of your communications, all of your electronic devices, all of your vehicles. They would be obviously standing by to help you deal with the consequences if you were, inclined to take their help. But they wouldn't have to fight you that way then. It would just put an end to everything. You'd be worried about where your next meal came from, where your next drink of water came from. Yeah, you would have to get used to life without toilet paper. So if civil war happens and EMP is next, either at the hands, by the hands of our enemy, or even against insurgencies within the United States, that killing people is still seen on the international scale as immoral and to be avoided, but the attack on infrastructure is a different thing. Yes, people would die as a result of that if the federal government didn't step in and help their victims. But civil war equals EMP. EMP by our enemy equals invasion next. Yes, you could see foreign troops on American soil. So think about that when you're trying to reconstruct America. Think about that when you're trying to destroy our history, which I know your eventual goal is our Constitution. That's what you want to destroy. That's what you hate. The thing that allows me to have a gun, and the thing that allows me to tell you to, get lost. My First Amendment right to disagree with you. That's what you want to take away. But think about what else you'll be losing. Think about all the things that will go away, including your electricity, either due to the Civil War or our enemies capitalizing on a Civil War. So I don't want to get long-winded here. Once again, I encourage you to prepare. Know how to build a fire. Know how to cook with a solar oven. Know how to deal with your sanitation. Start a compost pile so you know what to do with your trash. Staying alive is going to be your responsibility in this world of chaos that is erupting around us. I hope you survive. I'm rooting for you. And God bless America.